All right, welcome everyone back to Northwest Digital News. I'm Kevin Hunter with Kyle Torgerson in studio. Chris is out taking care of some family issues today, so he's off Friday, be back Monday. Well, let's open things up with a forecast of the weather, and I'm delighted to say a couple things. I know there's some sun in the forecast. That's a really, really good thing. And the other thing is the weather is brought to us by Longview Auto and Tire. And stay tuned right at the end of the weather forecast. We'll share with you a little video clip on a tire giveaway that they're doing right now. So if you got some bad tires on your vehicle, good place to get a hold of it.
Okay, well, today is going to be a high of 56 and a low of 39. It will be cloudy. The next 3 days, the sun will be popping out of the clouds, and it's going to be an average of 50, a high, and a low of 30. So it could go to the freezing range at night, but hey, the sun's here.
The sun is out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Today, with the fog, man, that was horrible. I could not see within like 20 feet of me just driving down the hill. It's bad.
It's crazy.
Just wanted to talk
well,
about
roll this video on the tire giveaway from Longview Auto and Tire. A cool deal, and gives the instructions on how to get in the program, get to be part of the contest, the giveaway. So go ahead and roll that video. Hey there, have you heard Longview Auto and Tire is giving away free tires? That's right. As their first year of business comes to a close, Roy and Ruben Byman of Longview Auto and Tire want to thank their customers for their generous support with a free tire giveaway. Here's all you have to do. Visit Longview Auto and Tire today at 655 Commerce Avenue near Tennant Way and fill out an entry form. Or go online to longviewtiresales.com/giveaway. Get rolling on free tires from Longview Auto and Tire today. Visit website for complete details. All right, so if you want to get in the contest, Kyle put that in the link already, and we'll post it on the various sites out there, longviewtiresales.com/giveaway, so you can get yourself some free tires. I want to share with you a little lesson, actually, that came from Roy Byman, who is one of the owners of Longview Tire Sales, Longview Auto and Tire. And he mentioned that a lot of people spend money on alignments, and shops don't necessarily tell you that you didn't need an alignment, that you actually just need a tire balanced. So if you are thinking that your car maybe needs an alignment, go see the guys over at Longview Auto and Tire, because if it is a tire balance issue, which quite often it is, they'll balance your tire for free and send you on down the road. So go check them out. Well, we have a few cool subjects on the show here today. You notice that we have a weight loss warrior noted in our show title. Well, this is a friend of mine, Marty Wegdahl, who's actually has a really great track record when it comes to weight loss, and he's known as the weight loss warrior. Well, we're going to allow Marty to kind of tell his story, because he and his wife Brenda are actually on the road today. They live in Michigan, but he is in Phoenix today for an event down there, so we'll have him share like what the event is. But he has some other like-minded weight loss people with him, so we'll have him share a little bit of that journey with us. So let's get Marty on the line. He's expecting a phone call from us, so hopefully he's able to step away from his event down there, and as soon as Kyle has him on the phone, we'll chat with him about what's going on down in Phoenix, Arizona with his event down there.
I'm pretty excited for a couple of my topics today.
So what do you got on with your topics?
I have the scam of microtransactions in video games. That's a pretty hot subject. And then I also have a spider that nurses its babies. It's a spider that nurses.
Marty Wegdahl, Kevin Hunter, and Kyle Torgerson here from Northwest Digital News. How are you?
I am doing absolutely awesome, enjoying this beautiful weather in Phoenix, Arizona.
So you and your wife Brenda are down there for an event. Tell people like what you're down there doing and how things are going in Phoenix.
Okay, well, my wife, beautiful wife Brenda, and I partnered up with an amazing company called Isogenics 5 years ago. We both lost 100 pounds each, and here's the wonderful news. We maintained our weight for 4 years. So we were recognized for that. We weighed in yesterday, and we both qualified for Isogenics has a unique program for the folks that lose 100 pounds. It's get lean, stay lean. And so I really love the accountability with the program. So it pushes me further to want to just keep doing better and better and with our lifestyle. And so we're here for the event, and they're launching new products as we speak, new business strategies to help us be successful. And all in all, it's been just a really wonderful. Oh, and the weather, like 72 degrees. So versus 18 degrees in, you know how Michigan weather is, Kevin. It's
Yes.
really why. Yeah. So I'm outside on a deck right now. It's just all sunny and beautiful. So that's what we're doing. That's kind of what we're up to today.
So you're getting like a 50 or 60 degree bonus being in Arizona versus in Michigan, where you call home.
Absolutely, yeah. So, both of us having a really great job and being successful, wow, it's nice just to pack a bag and get away and enjoy some sunshine. I mean, this is in Phoenix, the weather's not overly hot. It's like, it's like how Longview, Washington is during, like June, right? May
Right.
or June, like it's like around 70, 72. Isn't that like perfect? It's wonderful.
Okay, so we have on the back screen, which our viewers can see, is your before and after picture. Talk about where things were at for you 4 years ago and what really got you motivated to go, you know what, I need to make some changes in my diet and lifestyle. What was really kind of the thing that pushed you over the edge and said, I got to do something different?
Well, Kevin, like this, I went to an event at the Monticello Hotel. My cousins were they had a booth, and I sampled some of the products. And in the beginning, I wasn't in the right mindset, and I said no in the beginning. But to get me to the right mindset, I actually had a dream that I died of a massive heart attack, and I'll never forget. I saw my funeral. Perfect vision of your funeral. I mean, if that doesn't get you back on track, I don't know what will. But this lady said, if only he has done something. What a shame he died in his early 40s. What a shame. I mean,
Wow.
And then, yeah, and I think that I do believe that was God telling me, son, you got to get your butt in gear. I mean, you're 305 pounds. You can barely tie your shoes. You're huffing and puffing. You're having a heck of a time. And so I decided to go all in with my health, and to prepare for my health journey. I started walking flat ground around the Lake Sacagawea, and I got rid of all the crap food. I even ate my last bag of Doritos before I bought my Isogenics 30-day system, and that was important.
I love that.
So
I made sure I got my last bag of Doritos out of the way.
I had to, right? You can't eat just one, right? So, I ordered my system, and I dropped 31 pounds. I loved it so much, I thought, I don't want to drink alcohol anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I loved how the nutrition feels in my body. So, and then 6 months, I lost 70, and then 10 months, I lost 100 pounds. And then I just maintained for the past 4 years. Like I'm in the Ice of Body Challenge put on by the company. It's a 60-week challenge, and then when you complete the challenge, you get a T-shirt, you get a $200 product certificate, and recognition of just a healthy lifestyle that you incorporate. I'm on I just wrapped up my 15th challenge. I'm currently on my 16th challenge.
So just explain what the challenge specifically is, like how that works, like what the time frame is and what somebody would invest to make that happen. Go ahead and put Marty's pic back up on the back wall there too.
Okay. Well, it's really simple. Basically, if somebody wants to enroll with us, Wegdahl Wellness, you can buy any pack. You can buy the starter pack, individual pack, premium pack, whatever you like to do, and then you start your journey, and then you immediately enroll in the ISOBITE challenge, and it's free. It's a 16-week challenge. It's a 4-month challenge. Okay, so you take your before and after, like I did, right? And then you'd be really strict the whole time. And it can be the challenge, Kevin. Can be for anybody. It can be if somebody wants to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds. It can be maybe a skinny 25-year-old man that actually wants to say, I'm trying to be scrawny. I want to put on lean muscle mass. Isogenics can help you do that. It can help you incorporate every aspect and quality of your life. So that's what the challenge. And then you do those. Then at the end of your challenge, you write an essay, okay, on how the challenge went. You take your before and after pictures. You submit it, and then you get a $200 coupon for products. Brenda's going to use her today at the store. You get your T-shirt, and you get a certificate of recognition. But not only that, if you get picked as an honorable mention to get recognized by the company, which I won in 2014, or you could become an ISOBITE Challenge finalist, where my wife was, well, not only honorable mention, but Brenda was a ISOBITE Challenge finalist, and she won $3,000 and a chance to compete for $25,000. But they upped the ante now. Now they have a grand champion and a runner-up. So the grand champion wins, I think, $20,000, and then $25,000, and I believe the runner-up wins $10,000. So it's really awesome.
Okay, so we have, Marty, the isogenics.com/isobody-challenge. That's the website that's on the back. And I have to share this with our viewers here. If you scroll down just a little bit, Kyle, you see a video featured on we won't play the video, but you see a video featured on the top of Isogenics page with some of the award-winning accomplishments. And right smack in the middle is your wife, Brenda. right in the middle of the video. Put the mouse pointer right on Brenda, right there in the middle, Kyle.
Isn't that awesome?
Right there.
I'm so proud of her. Really proud of her. And speaking of my wife, she gained a little bit of weight back, started a new job, stress, whatever. But you know what? This is how wonderful and sustainable our lifestyle is. Well, Isogenics provides. My wife lost 13 pounds in 2 weeks, and she made her way in. Just for taking massive determined action and getting back on track.
Bingo.
Anybody can do it.
Yeah. You know what's the interesting thing, Marty, is I have visited with people over the years that have had, whether they're weight challenges or health challenges or whatever, and they have shared with me that, they started doing something different. And, it worked for a while, and then something came along and they fell off the apple cart, so to speak. And
right.
I always tell people, because this is like one of the biggest mistakes that people make. If you get off of the proper path, the first thing you ought to do the moment you recognize it is get back on the cart, get back on the proper journey. And the funny thing is that many people will say, well, I kind of gave up on myself, and therefore, and then they just keep giving up on themselves. So what I talk a little bit about that, because obviously you mentioned that your wife gained a little bit of weight back, but she knew exactly what to do. She jumped back on the cart, and she's back where she wanted to be. How do you take this, get this mentality, and understand that if you fall off, use everything you know to get back on your success journey and accomplish your goals?
Well, the great Tony Robbins, I use what he says all the time. To accomplish anything in your life, finances, weight loss, energy, performance, you want to do better at business, you want to help your anything, you want to just grow spiritually, whatever. Massive determined action.
Yep.
Massive determined action. Without action, what do you have? I mean, you're not going to grow on with anything. And just to flip the conversation real quick, one thing I wanted to do was help. I wanted to be better financially. I struggled for years. And you, my friend, beautiful mentor you are, God bless you, you got me back on track with my finances. I mean, about 2 years ago, my credit was about a 500, 505. Now it's getting close to hitting the 7. I can buy a house now. I could fly to Phoenix, Arizona, and slap down a card and pay successfully. And then when the bill comes, I can pay it in full. It's a financial freedom. It's the most wonderful feeling in the world.
Well, you know something, Marty, I was very happy to help give you some advice to addressing the financial issues that you just regarded. I appreciate you saying that. However, I do want to point out that the things that you did were all you. See, there's all kinds of people who go out and talk to others that they think can help them, or they attend seminars, or they get advice or coaching on something, and then don't follow through and do it. And that's one of the things that I've really admired about you on a lot of different levels. The financial thing was one of them. Your weight loss goals being one of them. You like see problems in your life, and you're just going, you know what? Let me go find the right kind of help, and then put this action into it and actually make it happen. I have to share with you a really funny story. I was in back in the Midwest about 6 years ago, attending a seminar there, and it was actually put on by Action Coach Global. And the person who got up in the front of the room, there's about 90 some business people in the room, and she made the mention. She goes, "There's a reason why our name is called Action Coach, because we decided not to go, when I get around with it, Coach, or maybe this is a good idea, Coach, or someday I'll do it, Coach, or maybe I'll write something up, Coach." It's Action Coach, because that word before the coach meant everything to actually getting something done. So appreciate that you point out that action is everything. And Marty, you've proved it, that when you lock your mind into action and taking action, that you can apply it to a whole bunch of different things in your life, and you've done exactly that.
That is very true, and I also, like my beautiful mother, God bless her soul, lost her 20 years ago, but she always told me when I was a kid, anything you set your mind to. I mean, if you feel that you're going to move a mountain, you want to be the president, whatever you want to be, just whatever you put your mind to, you believe it, you're going to achieve it. If you believe it, you will achieve it, and it's true. It's very, very true. And oh my God, you're right. I mean, everybody can give us the tools we need, but we as individuals, Kevin, the only thing that holds us back is us, not anybody else. We can't blame anybody for anything. And there's so much of that going on in the world. We got to take our own personal accountability, right? And work through our struggles and just push through, and you have a breakthrough. And just remember, God is great all the time, and you give everything to God, all of it, and your life will shift into beautiful perspective. Not doubt. Don't you agree?
100%. Give us the website again. Is it wegdahlwellness.com? Is that where people need to go if they want to know more about what you do?
Well, what you could do, yes, it's www.wegdahlwellness.isogenics.com. And if you wanted to, Kevin, you could go. You're a friend of my Facebook. You go to my Facebook page, and you can copy and paste that website and put it there if you want, because you're so good at that computer stuff.
All right. Well, we will add that into the link here so that people can find it. And Marty, if you want to find this show to either share it with your friends, just go to our Facebook page on Northwest Digital News. You find your name in the title, Weight Loss Warrior Martin Wegdahl. Well, thanks for taking the time with us, Marty, and sharing a little word of inspiration. And I hope people pulled the word action out of that. And I hope people understood that this thing about personal accountability, that whatever you do or don't do is because of you.
That's right. And you know what? We're all you, me, everybody in this world, Kevin, we're all battling something. But you know what? If you just give it to God and you whatever struggles you're having, and it comes up at your body, and it gets laid out in front of you. Don't put it back in. Work through it. Because that's what God's showing you. He's showing you, okay, this is what's going on. Let's take care of it. Let's work through it. And if you do that, you're going to be so, oh my God, you're going to have huge breakthroughs, Kevin. Huge.
And you know what the interesting part too is, my dad used to always make the statement, there's no time like the present. So when you see these challenges or problems or things that are out in front of you and you're wondering what to do, well, take action now. Take it today, because there is no time like the present. Don't allow these fears or challenges to stand in front of you for another day. Just go after them, get them done, put them down.
Absolutely, Kevin. And what are we? We're victors. We're not victims.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, we'll let you go, Marty. Appreciate taking time out of your busy day. Enjoy the rest of your conference down there in Phoenix, and we'll have you back on sometime down the road.
Kevin, you and your sidekick have a great rest of your day. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. God bless you both, and have a great day.
All right. Same to you. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Marty Wegdahl. So what do you think of that, Kyle?
Since I've been doing this for a year now, you've been doing this for such a long time, I just noticed a trend between all these people who are successful, whether it's weight loss or business. They all have practically the same attitude. You just go out and just do it. Don't wait.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yep.
So I'm starting to figure out, if you actually just do it, it's done. You don't have to worry about it. So that's what I figured out.
You know what? I was doing a presentation in the Twin Cities years back, and they had asked me to present on goals and objectives and strategic plans. And I decided to talk about goals specifically that day. And so I got up and started walking around. This way this room was set up, and this meeting that we were having was this huge round table. So there's maybe 100 and some people in attendance there. Everybody sitting at these tables, and there was an open part in the middle. But I got up and walked around the outside of the room, and I started saying that this year I'm thinking about increasing the amount of walking that I'm planning to do. And I'm not sure if I'm going to walk 4 days a week or 5 days a week, or maybe I'll go 2 miles a day or 3 miles a day or 4 miles a day. And I just kept walking around the room, and I was asking people, what am I doing? And people were going, you're setting goals, you're setting objectives, and they're coming up with all these different things to try to describe, but they were listening to what I was saying, not watching what I was doing. And what was I doing?
You were walking around the room.
I was walking around the room. And I told people that, I shared with people, I says, when you make goals for yourself, the first thing you should start doing is moving. Figure out how many days you want. If walking was your goal, to walk more, you can figure out how many days you want to walk a week. You can figure out how far you want to go. You can figure out, the end game plan of what all of this is going to look like. But while you're figuring it out, start walking.
Just do it.
Just do it. So regardless of what your plans might be, if you're following us today and you're a video geek and you go, man, I just really love to do more video or love to do more whatever, I'd just like, start making video today and figure out how you're going to make it all work and what your message is going to be and all, but start making video today, because by doing that, you'll establish the skills. You'll understand more about what you have to do. You'll understand your software better. Like all those sorts of things are just going to happen. And you may decide at some point down the road that the video you made today or tomorrow or the next day is video that you're not going to use. That's okay. But all of that will be valuable to what you're doing down the road. So get moving, take action.
There's a lesson.
Because Kevin said so, according to Michael Frericks.
Because Kevin said so. One thing that I actually learned, it's kind of corny. It's a movie. It's the movie We Bought a Zoo. It's a family that, they bought a zoo. And I just remember the father's quote, just okay, you just need 20 seconds of just courage. Just do whatever. Just don't even think about it, but just that 20 seconds, do whatever that needs to be done. And that's how he found his wife. He saw this beautiful girl in a restaurant, and he's like, oh, man, I want to talk to her. Okay, I'm going to give myself 20 seconds of just pure courage. Let's go. And that's how he met his wife. So you never know if you're going to make or break it, but it's better just do it. Just go do it. You don't know if those videos that you cut are going to be used, but it's better to do it than be like, oh, actually, someone just contacted me and said they want video of this, and I just happen to have it. Here you go. Now I have $1 million contract. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
So it's better just get it done. Just do it.
There was one of the guests that I had interviewed once shared with me a phrase that I've written down. It's probably been shared by other people, but it came very profound from this source. He says, chance favors the prepared. And so when you think about people who are just getting lucky in life, you know, you're like, oh, well, they just got lucky, or they just got a break, or, you know, they had a rich dad, or they have this, or they have that, or whatever else. And you're talking about all these things that that chance came into play, and so they just got lucky. And that's not it at all. That has a factor in some people, you know, for some situations, but for the most part, that's not true at all. As Jeff Diamond said, chance favors the prepared. He's one of the original patent holders of the e-cigarettes. Okay. He and his business partner launched the call centers that Fingerhut, AT&T, a lot of these places use. They just happened to, they were working on a project together, came up with the technology, proposed it to a couple different places. It went nowhere. And one day, the executive who was responsible for call centers within AT&T got fired. A new person got hired. The old person cleaned everything out of their desk except for this worthless proposal that was sitting in their desk and left. The new person comes in, and all of a sudden they get a phone call one day from AT&T saying, hey, I've been assigned this responsibility of call centers and looking at all the different options, and hey, I find this proposal on my desk from you guys. Are you interested in coming in and talking to us? That became a $1 million plus deal for them. They've had 17 of those. Okay? Chance favors the prepared. Keep acting on what these good things you find that are worthwhile in your life, and you'll find that these chances for good things, that you keep getting lucky. You're like, wow, that's another good luck, another good piece of. Anytime something like that happens in my life, I'm always just kind of, you know, surprised by it, puts a smile on my face, and it's like, wow, that really worked out. But I know it's because I continue to make myself prepared for those good opportunities that come along. And Winston Churchill, I got to find this quote because I love it. Maybe you can find it here too on the web while we're. Winston Churchill's thing talking about the greatest opportunity, finding you unprepared. Let's find this because this totally fits with this conversation.
Let's see. You're talking about the finest hour?
The finest hour, yes.
Okay. Here, let me just download this photo real quick, and then
Yeah.
I can pop it up.
That's the one we're talking about. You guys can pull this up as well online. You can find it at goodreads.com. There's a few other places that it's available, but this is like so important in your life and in your goals and putting things together.
This one?
Yeah.
Cool.
To each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour. The most successful people I have visited with in life will tell you that these opportunities for things that could be your finest hour happen to the average person somewhere around 15 to 20 times a year. And when you talk about being unprepared, some people are so unprepared that they never even knew that the opportunity crossed their doorstep. So if you're sitting out there today and you're going, I'm completely unaware of any great opportunities that have come my way, open your eyes, my friend. Open your eyes, my friend. They're happening around you all the time. And part of your unpreparedness is actually not even being aware that it is happening. But so when you go back to when you mentioned that common things that successful people will share, a big part of that is starting to instill and implementing the habits of highly successful people. Because as those habits become more your life, as opposed to always reading about how other people are doing those things, as those habits become implemented into your lifestyle and become part of who you are, you will see more of these great opportunities that come your way. And you'll know how to take action on them. So,
One of my favorite things to do is compare things that things usually don't get compared to. Like, I'm a big band nerd, right? I love band. I was in jazz band, pep band, marching band, wind ensemble, concert band. I love band. Band's great. If you have a kid, put them in band or some music. Music's great. But one thing that I learned in jazz band that is very unique in jazz band is one of the best ways to get better at playing your instrument is to listen to other professional people who play the exact same instrument, but also to listen to other professional players who play other instruments. So if you're a saxophone player, why not to listen to someone that plays trombone? You might actually learn something that can be good for the saxophone.
sure.
So basically what that taught me is if someone's professional or someone's like better than me or someone's like, they're just so successful and I want to be like them. Well, obviously I got to look at what they're doing and implement that in my own life. And I just love to compare things that are just odd. So like Rocket League, right? If you play Rocket League, you play video games. If you play video games, Rocket League's pretty great. It's a really great esport. For some reason, it's becoming the next big thing. Just $1 million competitions. Whoever wins, you get $1 million for playing a video game. It's great. But there's so many things in Rocket League that are just pure chance. The ball could go right here. And a lot of people actually practice on Rocket League. There's a whole practice modes, and people just spend hours practicing on Rocket League so they're prepared for, okay, when this happens, right? So I like to compare things that are just not supposed to be compared, but just compare them anyways, because you never know. You might learn something. Talking about Rocket League and microtransactions.
Before we get into that, Kyle, let's take a quick coffee break here on the show.
You're right.
Yes.
I'm almost out. Okay.
Well, we're almost out of coffee. We'll be right back in just a moment here on Northwest Digital News. Stick around. are back here live in studio. Kevin Hunter and Kyle Torgerson on Northwest Digital News. Today we're going to talk about microtransactions in the gaming world. Kyle, this is your story. Take it away.
Oh, okay. I'm not a millennial. I'm like Gen Z. I think that's what it is. So I play video games. I love video games. It's great. But I'm really sad to see where gaming is currently going. Not in the aspect of esports and it's becoming super popular, but more of the thing of gaming companies that once released well-polished games like Borderlands 2 and Halo 1, Halo 2. They're just well-polished. You got the entire game on released. It was fine. But now the norm is like No Man's Skies. It's a game that was like hyped for an entire year. It was just, it's going to be an entire universe. There's going to be thousands and thousands of planets. You can just hop into your spaceship and literally just fly straight out into the atmosphere, go to another planet, and that's what you can do. And there's a whole story mission, storylines, and there's so much you can do. The game got released, and it was not even what they hyped it up to be. It's just the worst thing ever. Sorry, No Man's Skies, but that's what it is. They're getting back to how it's supposed to be.
It was the worst thing ever, you guys.
Yeah,
so
it was.
If you were like studying about the Jewish Holocaust or like the ethnic cleansing going on in the Middle East or like any of those, they're bad, but they're not as bad as this because this was the worst thing ever.
And then no, it gets even worse. So it's not the worst thing ever because this is worse-er.
Worser. All right.
Worser. So now they release half-polished games because they have to meet deadlines that don't meet expectations, and then they sell you the rest of the game in microtransactions and DLCs. So it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be able to do 100% of the game, but then they release 50%. And then, okay, another 25%, it's like $20, and the other 10% is like 50, and then the other 10, and the other 5 is like that. So that's what it is now, and people are spending so much money. We have a comment on Twitch, Raven. The amount of microtransactions that I've spent on Fortnite is truly disappointing. Fortnite is actually, it's a really good game. There's a reason why it's I think it's actually the #1 game of the year. There's a reason why it is. It's because it's just super well polished. It's free. It's completely free. You don't have to spend money on it. But people spend money on it, like a lot of money. I know people that have spent like $100 to $200 on it. And what you do is you buy skins and you buy loot boxes that have like, oh, you have a chance to get this rare skin, and you have a 25% chance to get this, and a 50% chance to get a common, and stuff like that. So it's in Rocket League, that's how it is. But the money that you do spend on that, the money that you spend on the keys to open the loot boxes actually goes to the esports. So at least they're doing something that's good, and their game is it's amazing. Fortnite, it's free to play, so the amount of money they're making is microtransactions. But when it comes to like Destiny, the DLCs for the Destiny 1, the Destiny was supposed to be this crazy game. It's supposed to revolutionize gaming. It was going to be crazy. That's what it is. They always hype up games now that every single game is going to break the world. It's just crazy. It's that. And then it's half polished, half baked. You fall through the world, and then they're like, oh, here's a patch. Here's another patch. Sorry. Oh, by the way, here's a DLC. That's $30. But it's supposed to be in the game originally. So that happened to Destiny. That's happening to Destiny 2. That's just what's becoming the world of gaming, and it's truly sad. Well, there is a class action lawsuit going up against some of the games that do that. Currently, Fortnite is on the list because, like, reading the comments, parents are like, I spent $200 because my kids love Fortnite. And they're buying skins, so they look cool. They look cool. $200 to look cool. And then Rocket League, you buy keys to open certain things, and it's like, okay, you get cool decals, you get some cool cards, you get some cool stuff. They're fine, but microtransactions now are just everywhere. They're in phone apps, they're in phone games, they're in computer games, PS4, Xbox, Wii. You can't escape microtransactions. And if you think about it, loot boxes are kind of like lottery. It's kind of like, okay, well, here's 99 cents, and I'll open the box, and hopefully I get something good that's worth the money. If not, well, then, whoops. So you have kids that are just spending money just throwing it out there just to get stuff. And there's a class action lawsuit on several games because it is a type of gambling. And it's people spend like $10 on loot boxes and they get like 90 cents worth of stuff. But if you think about it, it's just digitalized stuff. So
Packs, loot boxes, and prize crates.
price crates.
Yes, the microtransactions and games allow. And I see like FIFA 18 and FIFA 19 are on here. This is the Football International, or the Federation.
FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA.
Federation International Football Association. Yeah, one of the very top commonly known games for microtransactions.
Yeah, I'll post the link to the article so you guys can check it out. So if you play Fortnite, if you play any of the FIFAs, you have a chance to join the class action lawsuit. So maybe you'll get your money back, maybe not. I don't know. But with FIFA, it's soccer, and there's an example in the article or in one of the comments that a person spent $500 to $1,000 so he can get one of the professional players in the game, not the real person, the digitalized person, to be the goalie in the game. Just the goalie. That's it. Not just the goalie. They spent like $500. Of course, this person makes money off YouTube playing the game, but that's still crazy. And you could play the game for a year and then you could probably get it with in-game currency, or you can just spend $500 now and get it immediately. So they're setting up games to have it be like that, so it takes forever to grind to get characters and guns and stuff, but instead you could spend like $10 and get it immediately. So that's what's going on. I remember last year or so, maybe 2 years ago, there was a person that bought a certain item in the game, and they had it, but then someone in the game stole it, because you can steal items in the game. That's how it is. And they sued the person from stealing the item in the game, because they bought that item. But in the game, you're supposed to steal other people's items, so it's just, this is unmarked territory, and yeah.
Sounds like all kinds of fun happening there. Well, so there's the two versions, 18 and 19 of FIFA, and then there's Fortnite, Counter-Strike, Legendary Game of Heroes. These are all involved in this class action lawsuit.
And people don't know about microtransactions. Jeffrey, on Facebook, example, I thought microtransactions was a misprint for microaggressions. I have no idea this was a thing. So you have kids that go
There's
on...
probably some microaggressions happening as a result of the microtransactions.
Yeah, so you have parents that don't really know, and their parents go on Fortnite, and they're like, "Hey, Mom, can I borrow, the debit card?" Why? Just, so I can buy something in the game. Spends $200 on skins. So watch out for that. Hopefully it becomes less like that. But some of the microtransactions that I actually like there's actually good microtransactions, good ones. A good example is Borderlands 2, the Borderlands series. For Borderlands 2, it's like 6-7 years old now, and I still play it daily. I still play it daily, and I bought the Handsome Jack collection, so I have all the DLCs, all the skins, everything. So maybe instead of buying the microtransactions, maybe wait till you get the Game of the Year edition that comes with every single thing for the same amount of price, and instead of spending like $200 when you could just spend $60. So waiting is good. Never pre-order a game unless you really love the series. But Borderlands 2 is different, and it's great because they have skins, they have Headhunter DLCs, and it goes to all 6 characters. That includes DLC characters. And with the Headhunter DLCs, you don't just buy the heads for your characters. You actually have to play an entire side mission. Like, this is a big chunk of just a mission. Like, there's several missions in this big chunk just to get a head. So it's like you get a whole part of the game for like $10, $5 just to get ahead. But you also get some guns, you get some cool stuff. It expands the story missions, the lore of the game, and it's just hours of fun. Kyle in a Saturday morning broadcast about games. Yeah, Michael Frericks has a good idea. Kyle should do a show about games and rate them to help other people and players. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'd like to do like a late night, hey, game with Kyle, and I like to do that. Especially when Borderlands 3 is coming right around the corner and we're waiting. So, Jeffrey Rip has a comment on Facebook. What is a DLC? DLC is downloadable content. Oh, I completely forgot a main part about all this. There's a reason why they're also doing DLCs more and microtransactions. Mm-hmm. Well, when they release a game, part of that goes to the retailers who sell it, right? Mm-hmm. Big chunk of that. So the money that they get in-game is 100% their revenue. Mm-hmm. So if they release a game, it's like, oh no, it's half-baked. We didn't get it done in time, sorry. But you can buy the rest of the game in the game with a microtransaction, which isn't micro, it's probably like $25, plus the 60 you spent already. So that's, $85 right there. Not including tax, of course, because tax is a thing.
Tax is a thing everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. So there's money grabbers. EA is a really bad example, is a really good example, but is a really bad company now, and is just, it's a joke. It's just, they're a joke now. It's crazy. So
what's interesting is I was jumping on here and looking for examples of some of the top games, that people are playing and where they're interfacing with these microtransactions. And each one of these sites, it's like funny how many of them, they do so much advertising on them now that if you have an ad blocker on your computer, you're not going to be able to load the site, because the first thing that pops up is, hey, you need to shut off that ad blocker. That's how we make money. So people are in every way they can using these platforms to make money. That's the purpose of the microtransaction. And so if your kids are playing these games, be aware of the fact that they might be spending some of your money if you give them access to the credit card.
Jeffrey Rip actually came up with a great example on Facebook. Imagine buying a car one wheel at a time. This sounds kind of sounds like that. It's basically you buy a car and they're like, oh yeah, we actually don't have the wheels or the engine. You have to pay more for that. Mm-hmm. That's basically
Johnny Cash wrote a song about that, one piece at a time.
Oh, he knew.
There you go.
So there's my rant on microtransactions in video games. Maybe I'll have like a video game segment every Saturday or something like that. That'd be cool.
We'll have to do that. All right, so that we don't miss this opportunity, you wanted to share a little bit about spiders and what they eat. Just to finish on kind of a creepy subject.
Just a little creepy subject. So I hope you guys know I'm a big fan of entomology, which is the study of insects. I just love bugs. I love ants. I love spiders. I love them all. Well, this came out in November.
So wait, real quick. If you have arachnophobia, just go ahead and avert your eyes, or whatever. But Kyle's going to share some creepy spider pictures.
Or better yet, join an entomology group and then just look at spiders and be like, actually, they're kind of cute. They're just fuzzy and have little paws. Spiders have paws. Well, this specific jumping spider right here actually feeds its babies milk. It nurses milk. Mm-hmm. It nurses milk to its kids all the way up to its teenage years. So
is it 2% pasteurized? Or?
It's actually 4 times more protein dense than cow's milk.
Ah.
Not 14, sorry, 4. Just 4.
Yeah.
So
you'd have to have a lot of spiders, though, to come up with a gallon of milk.
Yeah. And it's probably way better than cockroach milk, but maybe this is where we're going with dairy and stuff like that. But yeah, this spider actually nurses its milk, nurses its kids with milk, and it's cool. It's
Spiderlings
great.
Start to hunt for food, but they return to mom for milk. Mm-hmm. How sweet that is.
It's a hover mom. Feeds them all the way up to teenage years.
I was just looking at most spider diets are made up of insects, but there are some of the larger, more exotic spiders that eat birds, frogs, rodents, lizards. That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Spiders are crazy. Do you know there's spiders that actually mimic ant-like behavior, and they release pheromones that are just like the ants? So they go in there, they just grab an ant, and they just walk off, eat it, wait a bit, and then come back, grab another ant, leave, wait a bit, and they just think it's another ant.
And the ants are fooled by the pheromones there.
Yeah, completely. Ants Ants are one of the most diverse species. It's crazy. I think per person on the planet, there's 4 million ants per person.
Mm-hmm.
They make up the most majority in biomass. So if you go by biomass, they are the most on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They have the most. And there's certain...
But what about the uncles?
They die off after mating, but... yeah. So, yeah, some ants actually explode. Some ants are trapjaw ants. And there's a new ant that they just found out, or I believe they just found out, because I came across it and it says so, that actually is the fastest moving ant in the entire world because its mandibles just close within like a millisecond.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so fast. So, ants are cool. Study insects.
You notice how the spider subject just went right over to ants. I've actually had, I've
Michael Frericks, Kyle, you're starting to worry me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, more specifically, is he starting to bug you? You know, ants, spiders, all that kind of good stuff.
You know what I'm pretty excited for, though? I'm excited for March, because that's when I take my ants out of the garage, because that's where I'm keeping them. Not at my mini fridge anymore. I'm keeping them in the garage, because they have to hibernate, so I'm just putting them in there, and so I'm kind of waiting.
We have been places where all of a sudden Kyle gets this like really intense look on his face, and you think he's just like staring at the ground like lost, you know, somewhere. And then all of a sudden he's like holding his hand up and looking at it. You'd think he picked his favorite booger or something like that, you know. He's sitting there looking at his hand and going, hey, look at this. Oh, it's a queen. Look it's a queen. It's crawling on me. It's a queen ant. I was like, nice.
The best part is that has actually happened multiple times, but I think the first time that has happened is when it was during rainier days.
Mm-hmm.
No, 4th of July. Oh, it was rainier days, and we had a pirate ship in the parade there, and I was dressed up as a pirate, and here I am just like, oh man, I got an ant queen. That's so cool. I've never seen this type before. And what I figured out is actually acorn ants, so they have a max of like 150, 125 workers, and the colony's so small they can fit into an entire acorn.
Wow.
Yeah, they're pretty cute. I love them. But yeah, here I am just dressed up as a pirate near a pirate ship, just looking at an ant on my hand. I'm trying to figure out, where am I going to put it? Do I have like a water bottle? Do I have like I'm not carrying my pill bottles for ants anymore. So.
We have been in locations far away from home, and he's found an ant, and he'll say something like, wow, this trip was so worth it.
I love ants. They're so cool. They're so diverse.
I found an ant, man. This trip was so worth it.
My favorite part about the cruise that I went on early in the year, well, not this year, but 2018, was in Louisiana, in New Orleans. They had an insectarium. So it's like an aquarium, but instead of just insects, they have leafcutter ants, which is an atta colony. So I just saw these like ants all in a line carrying these little leaves. They look like sails, and they're super majors and minor workers, and yeah, ants are pretty cool.
So you guys, wherever you are around the world, if you can like do a little research on the web, so you can figure out how to ship a ant without killing it.
No, don't do that. That is like super illegal. That's
and send Kyle an ant.
Don't do that. That is so illegal.
It's illegal to send an ant from somewhere.
Yeah, because ants are actually one of the like fire ants, right? Mm-hmm. They weren't.
Yeah, you don't want any fire ants, for darn sure.
They weren't original in America. I think they're like Brazil, but it just takes like 2 ants, and next thing you know, you got an entire colony, and they're taking over other colonies of ants. Like, it is super illegal because ants, they're like, they've been here since the prehistoric age, like since dinosaurs. So there's a reason why. It's because they don't die, and they take over the land, and they eat all the food. One of the most hated ants in the ant-keeping world is Argentina ants, because somehow they always get into your insectarium, and they will kill your ants. So don't do that. Don't put them across state lines. Don't put them past countries. As much as I want to have ants from different countries, because the Northwest isn't that quite diverse with ants, I would love to have an atta colony, or like a trapjaw ant colony, or maybe like honeypot ants from the desert. I would love to do that, but I can't, because they'll take over other ant species.
Jeffrey mentioned that an artist poured molten aluminum into an abandoned hole, let it cool, dug it up, cleaned it, and polished it. It looked really, really cool. Yeah, I actually saw that as well, and yeah, it was really awesome.
Maybe on next Friday I could talk about how to keep ants, how to, catch an ant queen, how to get it from the founding stages all the way up to, oh wow, I have 500 ants.
We're gonna have Kyle pour some molten aluminum down one of his favorite ant colony holes, and we'll create a remake of the video that Jeffrey was referring to. So.
Yeah, Jeffrey Ripe, invasive species. That is what the term I was looking for. Maybe I'll have like an entomology show, like once a week, maybe once a month, where we get like a famous entomologist to come on the show, just to talk about ants, or not ants, but like specific insects and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. There's not a lot of talk shows that talk about stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, well, we're out of time here on the broadcast. Thanks to everybody who joined us here on the show. A lot of great topics. Thanks to Marty Wegdahl, who joined us in the beginning of the show to share about being a weight loss warrior. You guys, there's so many different ways that you can take control of a weight challenge, if that's what you have in your life. I noticed earlier in the broadcast somebody mentioned, there's also good food and exercise. Well, that's been my chosen path in life is make sure you get the right kind of diet going on and good level of exercise. Activity is like so important. Just helps flush toxins out of your system. It does help with weight-related issues. Plus, you feel so much healthier when you're stronger.
Yeah, nutrition and dieting, they're talking about is like 85% of weight loss. Another percent is being active.
Bingo. Food, you guys, is absolutely everything. Your body actually can't store fat unless you have enough sugar in your diet.
And if you still like the food that you're eating, which is, probably not the greatest because it's carb-filled, but you could probably do intermittent fasting and just eat in a windowed time and still lose weight. You eat the same amount, just within like 6 hours.
If you're wondering what's making you fat, look up post-absorptive human cell and a pre-absorptive human cell. And it talks about specifically what's going on there. It's always funny to me that for all the conversations that come around calorie counting and all these different things, nobody ever has conversation about the specific calories that cause you to put on fat. And it's not fat. Fat isn't it. It's actually sugar. Sugar is the number one problem behind weight gain. Then that's followed by excessive protein intake. And then there are some fats, but they're usually the fats that they came up with to replace good fats. So anytime a human being said, I'm going to make margarine, or I can't believe it's not butter, or canola oil, or corn oil, or any of those things, they're all junk oils. Good old butter, the awesome grass-fed meats and things like that give you access to the good animal fats. Obviously fats from plants like avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, those types of things, awesome for you. And then of course, that's why Grandma said no snacking after 7 p.m. Yeah, actually there's a really good reason why not to be eating after 7 p.m. First of all, if you are eating late in the evening before you go to bed, it makes your body go into the digestive process. You're going to screw up your night's rest. You're going to cause yourself to gain weight. Your blood sugar levels are going to be out of whack. There's all kinds of things that just are not good.
So I posted a link in the comments. It's a chicken keto recipe. It's actually Stephanie's. I've made it many times. It's amazing. It just melts in your mouth. And it is keto, so there's not a lot of carbs. It's easy to make. Just takes 3 hours, slow cooked in the oven.
Delicious, good with anything.
I don't know.
My wife actually made some of this slow baked chicken, the keto chicken, and then after it was made, diced it all up. Actually added a little bit of shredded cheese to it, put a small amount of ranch seasoning in with it, and mixed it up into a chip dip and brought it to a party that we had. And people were going by the table and picking this stuff up and just trying a little bit of it initially, because people do that when they don't know what something is. And then coming back to the table, you saw people walking around with these this big pile of meat now, and their chips and whatever else they're using with it. Yeah, it was awesome.
You may be wondering, or not wondering, because it hasn't crossed your mind yet, how can chicken breasts cooked in 3 hours become a dip? Well, it's because you just take a fork. You can't even pick it up with a fork because it just breaks apart. It just falls apart. I'd also like to thank Yorkshire Dad for hosting us on Twitch.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
So thank you.
Yorkshire, if you want to go on our Facebook page, send us a private message and say, hey, send us some free coffee from Northwest Digital News. We'd be glad to do that,
Yeah,
too.
we got coffee.
Thanks.
So yeah, thanks for hosting us.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to wrap up here on Northwest Digital News. Thanks to all the folks that joined us on Instagram, on Twitch TV, on Patreon, YouTube, and, of course, our Facebook pages. It's going to be so many, like, after a while you have to go, wow, can we remember all the places people are finding Northwest Digital News?
Soon it's going to be easier to say what we're not on.
Yes.
We're taking over.
In 70 countries and growing, Northwest Digital News. And in every state in the 50 states, in the United States. So awesome. Glad to have you on for the ride with us. Kevin Hunter with Kyle Torgerson here on Northwest Digital News. Till next time, take care.